टैग किस लिए यूज होता है? अगर मेरे पास बहुत सारा इन्वायरमेंट्स है तो आइडेंटिफाई करने के इस इन्वायरमेंट को फ्रॉम अदर I could use the tags. Okay, it's just like a name value pair that identifies this instance environment from other environments. Okay, we are not going to provide that tag because we are creating just one instance. We'll go to next step. So these are the details. So it shows you to review the configuration settings. This is the name of the environment. This is the description. It is an EC2 instance, T2 micro. Okay, I'm not choosing any subnet. I'm just using the plain settings that are provided to me because I have not created any virtual private network or subnet wherein I want to use this particular setup in only that subnet. वैसा कुछ करना नहीं है फिलहाल, इसलिए मैंने वो use नहीं किया है. Okay. AWS service role for AWS 9 is generated. Okay. Now I go to create environment. There are certain warnings. You have seen this ID, so it will require 1 or 2 minutes to set up this ID. Once the ID is set up, we will decide which users can share this ID and which users will not be able to share this ID. I hope these 40 minutes are crisp and you can understand the steps that we have did so far. If you have any doubts anywhere, you want to ask any queries on the discussion so far, the session is free for next 2-3 minutes until this ID is set up. Okay, these steps we are looking at second time, if I remember. Okay, so any issues in understanding anything, you are missing something, I am missing something while discussing, you want to add up something based on your understanding of AWS service out of this class, you can add up until this ID is set up. It will take 2-3 minutes. Anybody wants to talk or have a conversation, have a dialogue of sort, any queries? Okay. Nobody wants to talk anything? Fine. I'll be the one who keep talking then. Okay, where was that ID we were setting up? Yeah. Oh, this was that beanstalk. It is still loading because I don't have access to this service. That's why it is just keep on loading. Okay. I just clicked it because I wanted to show that this user does not have access to the service. And as you're seeing, it just stays rolling off and on. Okay. So we will be using this service someday, but not today. So we'll go to our dashboard. So here also you can look at all the services, but I want to move to my dashboard. So how do I move to my dashboard? I guess I need to go from my user, and then this is not building dashboard. There's some way to go to dashboard from here, but I'm not able to locate it. Maybe I just click on this. It goes somewhere, or I'll just pull up the IP address. That is better. So let's go to the console dashboard directly using the IP address. So this is my console dashboard. Fine. So ID is set up or not? It is in this only, na? Okay. So this ID is set up. It's a welcome message for me to access the machine. So the background machine that has got created, I already have a remote access to that machine using command line over here. Okay. So this is my private IP. So this is a bash access to this AWS EC2 instance. Okay, command line access to it. I don't think so I can make this bigger in size. It's fixed in size. So you can tour the ID, you can know how to get APIs and all those things. Right now, what we intend to do is we intend to share this ID. So this is the run button. So if I've done some coding, I can run the things and other things I can do. Here is where I can navigate the file. So currently I am on the EC2 instance, home/EC2 user/environment. This folder I am in. Okay. So if I check over here using pwd, this is the folder I am in. Okay. So if I want to set up my project, I can write say, and few of the few of the softwares are already installed for me. For instance, software called as Git is already installed for me. See, it is installed. It shows me how I can use this particular software, using which I can actually create a repository. okay, wherein we are going away after this setup is complete, right? ये ID के बारे में थोड़ा कुछ हमने पिछली बार सीखा था. On plus I can say new file, and this is how you create a new file. Okay, was this supposed to be a Python project? Okay, so I'll just search for Python project online or Git. Just search for some Python projects on GitHub. I'm just clicking these Python projects. Hello world. No. There are a lot of projects here on GitHub. GitHub is a repository, I hope some of you knows, wherein projects are hosted, and I can get or clone those into my own machine. So I'm trying to get some small projects. So hello world in Python. I just want a very small project. That's why I'm trying to, yeah, Python doc hello world, a simple Python application for docs. I don't know what that is. Fine. So this is a repository by some person. Okay, and this repository, I want it into the machine that I created, the ID that I created just now. If I want to do that, what I would do is I would use the this particular command. So this is my HTTPS address, the SSH. Okay, where is? Okay, I'll use this HTTP address. I'm just copying the IP address of this particular repository code. ये code की repository का मैं IP address copy कर रहा हूँ. And this is my cloud ID. कहाँ गया? Okay, this is my cloud ID. I'm going here. I'll be typing in git clone and sorry, Control V. Okay, so I just pasted that address over here. So I'm trying to clone that repository on the EC2 instance. That is what I'm trying to do. See, what happened is it pulled up this particular folder, Python doc hello world, and you see over here that folder is created. Okay, so this is the readme file of this repository, and it is on my machine right now. See, okay, I don't know what exactly this project is. It's about some Flask and app. So it's some web app application. I just pulled it just for understanding purpose. So Flask app का कुछ hello world का program है. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to understand how can I collaborate. Okay, so I can pull up a code from remote machine. If this machine is online, so I can pull up a code from remote machine and put it in this machine, and I can utilize it in this ID. This is one of the theme of collaboration that I can show you. Now, when I go to shares, now I want to actually collaborate, means I want my user 1 and user 2 to be able to access this ID. You remember that this is the administrator user. Okay, and using this click, I can go to the dashboard of administrator user. I can go to the management of EC2 instance by going here, क्योंकि ये ID के साथ दो चीजें कनेक्टेड है, एक मेरा Cloud9 का एनवायरनमेंट और दूसरा EC2 का इंस्टेंस, दोनों एक साथ फ्यूज्ड है, दोनों सर्विसेज हम लोग एक साथ यूज कर रहे हैं. Okay, now this share button is what you can use to share this with your IAM users. Okay, I want to share this ID. So this application is running on this particular IP address. Okay, and the environment is console.aws.com and this IP address. Okay, so ये accessible करने के लिए आपको करना क्या पड़ेगा, आपको invite करना पड़ेगा आपके members को. So I need to provide my user names to whom I want to call as a collaborator. Okay, so I have already a user named Anup_user1. What kind of access I want to give him? Maybe this user1 is a developer, so I will give him a read and write access. Okay, then I will click on this. Okay, if he is only a tester and he is testing or evaluating my code, I'll only give him write access, read access, so that he won't be able to change the file contents, but he can inspect the files and maybe find some bugs for me and tell me that this needs to be corrected. Okay, so I'll give read write access to this user, and then it says that security warning is there. आपने read write access दिया है environment को, तो दूसरा कोई उसको access करके उसको change कर सकता है. I'll say okay, I know this user and I'm okay if this user has a read write access. So we have added the user to have a read write access. Now I'll give a read write access again to another user, which is this user. Okay, I'm inviting that user. Now the user, if he has an email ID, he will be sent a mail notification कि आपको ऐसा ऐसे environment में बुलाया गया है to access. But since we do not have these users as users who have an IP address, तो उनको ये IP address लगेगा to access the environment. Okay, so this IP address I need to copy down, and this using this IP address, these other users can access the IDE. These other users can access the IDE. Now I'll say done. So I have given access to my IDE to these other two users. Okay, now I'm jumping out to my incognito tab, where it is here. Okay, so this is my user 2 currently logged in. I'll just log him out. Not necessary. Actually, I have that IP address, right? So somehow I have communicated my user to that he has to work with my IDE, and this is the IP address. I'm just clicking on that IP address. My authenticity will be checked, and once I am an authentic user for that IDE, I will be allowed to get into the IDE. Now my user is able to access. See that this user is this one, this guy. Okay, दोनों का नाम A है क्योंकि दोनों का नाम, एक का नाम एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है, दूसरे का नाम अनूप है.